Good morning, all. In the last class, we started with IT Act. In IT Act, we did that one of the objectives is to bring parity between paper-based messages and e-messages, right? Now, there are some problems with e-transactions and messages. So let us first discuss these problems. One problem is lack of privacy. Once a message is transmitted through net, it can become available to any undesirable person in the cyberspace. So from the cyberspace, any person can have access to that message. Lack of privacy or secrecy, it is there. Then lack of authenticity is there. The identity of the sender cannot be established without doubt. You are not sure that only the person who is saying that I have sent the message, that person has sent the message. Identity of the sender cannot be established without doubt. Possibility of denial on the part of sender, this possibility is also there. Sender can later on say, I have not sent the message, my account was hacked, some other person has sent the message on my behalf. Possibility of iteration during this process is there. That means the original message is altered and you have received the altered message, and then number of cyber crimes like hacking, cracking, viruses, tampering, identity theft, these problems can be there, right? In order to overcome these problems and for bringing parity between paper-based messages and e-messages, we can use different techniques. We know that electronic messages can be accepted as legally valid documents only when these ingredients are there in electronic messages. Authenticity is to be there. That means identity of the sender must be established beyond doubt. Non-repudiation, that means sender should not be able to later deny having sent that message. Privacy is to be there. That means you want to be sure that if you have sent the message, it should reach to only desirable person. No unauthorized person should have access to that message. And then integrity is to be there. That means this message must not be alterable by any mischievous person during the transmission, right? So recipient wants to be sure that he has received unaltered message. Now for this purpose, you can use different techniques. Three ways are there. One is encryption and decryption. Second one is digital and electronic signatures. And then digital signature certificates can be there, right? In this lecture, we will be basically concentrating on the difference between private and public key and how these keys are used to send safe messages to the persons, right? Now, if we want that safe e-messages are sent, then encryption and decryption technique, this technique can be used. Encryption and decryption, you all know, this is nothing but encoding and decoding. Encryption is codifying the message, decryption is decodifying the message. To maintain security of the messages transmitted through internet, these can be sent in coded form, which only the recipient can decode. This is called encryption. If you are using this technique, you can be sure that only desirable person has received the message and only that person is able to read the message. Message cannot be read by any undesirable person. That means secrecy of the message. This can be ensured. Now, what is encryption? This is the procedure to convert a regular text into coded or secret text. And for this conversion, we use some mathematical formulas through computer, and these formulas are known as algorithm. The technology of encryption is called cryptography. When you reconvert the coded message into normal form, this decodification is called decryption, and this is possible only by use of the same algorithm. For the purpose of coding and decoding. These algorithms are used and these are applied on the message with the help of some special keys. And usually we say that key pair is to be used. IT Act recommends that key pair of public and private key, it should be used for the purpose of encryption and decryption. Now, what are these keys? In the encryption process, we say keys are nothing but large numerical values generated by using complex mathematical formula. Different keys can be used to encrypt and decrypt the messages. This is one of the popular algorithm which is used for public key cryptography, RSA algorithm. This is recommended in IT Act also. Now, encryption process has 4 elements. One, we require a message which is to be codified. Then we require algorithm or mathematical formula for codifying the message. We require a key to apply this formula. And then coded message is there, which is formed out of the original message, right? Now, two types of encryption can be there. One is symmetrical key encryption and other is asymmetrical key encryption. In symmetrical key encryption, we use only one key for codification as well as for decodification. That means sender is codifying the message using a key. This key is shared with the recipient and recipient using this key can decodify the message. So single key is used in this process. Symmetrical key encryption, it is there. If you are dealing with small number of people, then this process can be used. But if you are dealing with large number of people, then this process should not be used because lack of privacy will be there. You are sharing your key with large number of people, then problems may arise, right? So in single key encryption or private key encryption, only one key, this is private key, this is used to codify and decodify the message at both the ends. This is called symmetrical key encryption. Here it is difficult to maintain secrecy if you are dealing with large number of persons. So recommended way of encryption is double key or public key encryption. This system is known as asymmetric crypto system where we use a key pair. This key pair you can understand if you have seen operation of bank locker. In bank locker, to open the locker, you must have seen that two keys are used. One key is with the customer, locker holder, and other key is with the banker. So the key which is with the customer can be said private key. The key which is with the banker can be said public key. These two keys are mathematically linked. That means without both the keys, things cannot be done, right? In the same way, for encryption in asymmetric crypto system, we use a key pair. This is a pair of private and public key. These two keys are mathematically linked keys in such a way that anything which is encrypted in one key can be decrypted by using the other key of the key pair, right? So these two keys are mathematically linked keys. Now see what happens in this system. In this system, two keys are used to encrypt and decrypt messages or signatures. One is public key, other is private key. Both public and private keys, they form key pair in a symmetric crypto system. And these keys we have done that these are mathematically linked keys. These keys are granted to the user by some specialized agencies. These are called certifying agencies who have license to give digital signatures to the subscribers. Subscribers are the end users. These keys are designed in such a way that a message encrypted using one key can only be decrypted by using the corresponding key. So in simple words, you can say anything which is encrypted in public key will be decrypted in corresponding private key. And if anything is encrypted in private key, it can be decrypted in corresponding public key. This system is known as asymmetric crypto system. Now, both the parties, they share their respective public keys with each other. Private keys are secret keys. These should not be shared. These are with the owner only. The public key of the certified user, it may be available on repository. This is listed on digital signature certificates also. And this private and public key pair, this provides reliability to electronic messages. The message sent using asymmetric crypto system, you can say this is secure message, safe message, right? This is a bank locker where two keys are there, private and public key. This diagram I have taken from internet. This is showing symmetric encryption. That means one single key is there. You are using this key. This is plain text. You are using your key for encrypting the message. This is cipher text, which you are sending to the desired recipient. You are sharing your key with the recipient. Recipient will be using your key to decrypt the message, and now recipient can read the message, right? So this way, in symmetric encryption, you can send coded message, and then this message can be decoded by the recipient. But if you are dealing with large number of people and you are sharing your secret key with all of them, problem may arise in future. This is asymmetric encryption where two keys are there. Public key of the recipient is used to encrypt the message. See, when we are sending e-message, we want that only the desired recipient should be able to read the message. Now, how to ensure that? You can use public key of the recipient to encrypt the message. You are sending this message to the recipient. Now, private key of the recipient is only with the recipient. This is not shared with any other person. So if this message is received by the recipient can use his private key and decrypt the message and can read the message. Suppose this message reaches to some undesired person. That undesired person is not having access to private key of the recipient. That person cannot decode the message. So in asymmetric encryption, message is encrypted using public key of the recipient so that this message can be decoded only by that recipient only by use of his private key, and only that person should be able to read the message. So this way, secrecy of the message can be ensured. Now, messages and signatures, these are encrypted and decrypted in this way. For encryption of the message, as I have explained, we use public key of the addressee, which is in sender's hands. This is available to public. Sender knows about this key. So he will be using public key of the addressee or recipient to encrypt the message. This cipher message, this coded message is sent to the recipient, and recipient using his private key can decrypt the message and can read the message. This way we are ensuring secrecy of the message. But one more thing we want to ensure, recipient wants to ensure that this message is sent only by the sender. No other person has sent this message. To ensure this thing, signatures are to be put on the message. See, authenticity of paper-based messages is ensured through putting signatures, handwritten signatures on the message. But in case of e-messages, handwritten signatures cannot be put. So digital signatures are to be put. For putting digital signature on the message, private key of the sender is used. This private key is with the sender only. This is not shared with any other person. So digital signatures are appended on e-message using private key of the sender. Now, when this message with signature reaches the recipient can check whether this message is sent by the sender only. For this, what he will do, he will decrypt the signatures using public key of the sender. Public key of the sender is public key. This is known to everyone. So recipient also has access to this public key of the sender. So he will be using public key of the sender to decrypt the digital signature. If these are decrypted by use of public key of the sender, this ensures that this message has been sent by the sender only, right? So messages are encrypted using public key of the recipient. These are decrypted using private key of the recipient. For digital signature, this is otherwise. Digital signatures are encrypted using private key of the sender, and then these are decrypted by the recipient using public key of the sender, right? Now this diagram again I have taken from internet. This is the source. If you have to send secure e-messages, say Bob wants to send message to allies. So e-message is to be secure. For that, what he is doing, he is using allies public key to encrypt the message. This encrypted email is sent to the allies. Allies uses her private key to decrypt the message. So this is secure e-message because private key of allies is only with allies. Only allies can read this message. How to sign e-messages? Now signatures are to be put by Bob. For putting signatures, Bob will be using his private key. When messages sent to allies, allies will use Bob's public key to decrypt the signatures, right? If these are decrypted, then this authenticates the message that only Bob has sent the message, right? Now we can do the difference between private and public key. Very, very important from your examination point of view. The definitions are given under section 2. Firstly, the definition of private key. Private key is the key of the key pair which is used to create digital signatures, while public key is key of the key pair which is used to verify digital signatures, right? So sender's private key is used to create digital signatures. His public key is used to verify digital signatures. This way, private key and public keys have been defined. Regarding confidentiality, private key is secret. This is not to be revealed to anyone, while public key is meant to be revealed to the persons with whom one is dealing. Listing on DSC. DSC means digital signature certificates. Private key is not listed on DSC. Only public key is listed on this certificate, digital signature certificate. This certificate is issued by certifying authorities to the subscribers, and subscribers' public key is listed on this certificate. Availability on repository. Private key is not available on repository. This is secret key. This is not to be shared, while public key of the subscriber is available on repository. Regarding encryption and decryption of the message, we have already done. Recipient uses his private key to decrypt the message, and sender at the time of sending the message uses public key of the recipient to encrypt the message, right? So sender will be using public key of the recipient to encrypt the message, and then recipient will be using his private key to decrypt the message. For digital signatures, we have done that private key of the sender is used to encrypt the digital signatures, while public key of the sender is used to decrypt the digital signatures. So the pair of private and public key, this is known as key pair, and this key pair is used in asymmetric crypto system to grant authenticity and secrecy to e-messages, right? In the next video, we will be doing how to send secure e-messages, how to create digital signatures and send secure e-messages to the recipients. Thank you.